Hi guys, this is Alyssa, and I'm currently pretending to be in the Waterloo Gallery of the Apsley House in London, England. This is where the Velazquez painting, The Waterseller of Seville, is held. This painting was created between 1618 and 1622. Velazquez began his career painting genre scenes, often with religious undertones. And through this humble beginning, he became part of the knighthood of Santiago, which was a huge deal at his time because artists were considered no more than craftsmen, so the fact that he ascended to noble rank was quite uncommon for his time. Velazquez grew up in the city of Seville. It was a port town, very culturally diverse, there was a lot of trade going on, and it was the largest city in Spain at his time. And this is where his painting takes place, this Waterseller of Seville. Now, this is called a bodega, which is Spanish for tavern. These were genre scenes that were often endowed with still life elements. These were common in Italy and in the Netherlands, but in other places outside of Spain, and especially those that were not painted by Velazquez, these were a lot more lavish. There was a sense of prosperity and attention to detail in these bodegas, but Velazquez brought a new element of realism and focus and simplification to them, which was not really originally well received because the colors that he used and the tight close-up focus of his paintings were kind of uncomfortable and underwhelming to audiences of his time. But today it turns out to be of great interest to us. Water cellars were really common in Seville. It got very hot in the summer, so people relied on them to get clean water. Here, the water seller is an older man. We see he has torn clothes. He's wrinkled and tanned from years of hard labor, and he's giving a glass of water to this young, high-class boy. There's even a little fig in it to keep it fresh for him. In the background, a middle-class man with a mug is also drinking some water. And this painting is important because it points out a lot of social status cues and differences between the figures. The water seller would have been very poor. Water sellers were very looked down upon in their day. They were stereotyped as cheats and liars. Kind of, not quite the scum of the earth, but pretty close. This high-class boy, of course, has nice clothes. He gets a nice glass, whereas the man behind him clearly isn't necessarily poor, but you notice he has a mug, not a glass. So there's this difference here between the priority between the customers. It's interesting to note that despite their bad reputation in Seville, Velazquez chose to portray his water seller as dignified and even monumental. He is bathed in this glow, and he seems so big and strong compared to this little pale high-class boy. And yet there's no eye contact between them. This boy is very focused on the water seller's very torn, worn out down clothes. But the water seller doesn't seem to be affected by this at all. He seems very confident in what he does and almost kind of authoritative in his knowledge of, water. Because water. And this could be seen as Velazquez trying to maybe point out the importance of looking past people's social status and seeing them for what they do, for the importance of the work that they did, which is something he himself would have experienced as an artist until he had, achieved his fame and gained this knighthood, this noble rank. He would have been considered no more than just a regular handicraftsman. And perhaps in this way, by giving us this view, this intimate view of the water seller, he invites us to take a step back and see this water seller as who he is, a hardworking, contributing member of society. Do 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 do.